Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 86 of our Enigmatica 6 Expert Let's Play series, where today we're working on automating lightning crafting and getting ourselves to a tier 4 blood altar. Let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata, where I forgot to turn my map on. I really need to figure out, I need to go back through the comments. It was on like episode 17 or something that had the comment on what config change to make to fix that. But I haven't done it yet, so yeah. Anyway, today we are going to work on, something that we've been needing to do for a little while, and that is automating our lightning crafting. Lightning crafting is a thing that we're going to be doing it doesn't happen crazy too often, but when it does, it's a pain to have to do. So this is all the stuff we're going to need for this. But if we take a look at it and we look at, like, for example, a spark, right? Botania sparks. Lightning crafting of mystical yellow petals, blaze quartz, and a nebu drop makes 3 of these. We have some in our system right now. If we look at sparks, we have a decent amount, but crafts are going to get more complicated. They're going to need more things, and we don't want to have to manually do this all the time. So let's try and figure out how to automate lightning crafting. So let's go ahead and get started. Preface to this is that I've already experimented with this in between episodes here, so I can kind of get everything going. So this is kind of sort of what we're going to need for this. And then eventually we're going to move it down into our basement area so that we can automate it with refined storage. But I wanted to set it up out here to test it. This is our experimental test area, so that way we can, not catch everything on fire. One thing I want to note that it's been mentioned that the green heart, the logs from Tinkers do not catch on fire. Or the planks. So we're gonna put that to the test and see if that's the case, because fire is a big thing when it comes to lightning crafting. You're gonna set things on fire if you have things. There we go. Now we have more planks. I actually have to go downstairs. I thought we should have more. That's not what I wanted. I want you. We need to go downstairs because we just loaded into the world and fix our refined storage. I really need to get this thing under control. Let me turn it off for a second, pulse it, and then get back in. Need to figure that out. Some other way to organize our refined storage system. That way I have access to all my stuff. And that way I can just press a quick button to get it fixed. Because the clock out block, it ain't working. I thought it would work. It ain't working. But anyway, so for now, we're going to set this up over here, like I said. And then eventually we will move it down into our basement. And we'll see if these things catch on fire. Like, if I get a flint and steel, like, do they light on fire? It does light on fire. I don't know if that matters or not. Maybe it won't light on fire with lightning, though. So anyway, okay, so what do we need? Well, first things first, we're going to need 2 modular routers. And as you can see, I already have those going. So what we're going to want to do is take one of the modular routers, and we are going to place it in a spot right here where basically everything is going to drop onto this modular router. And this modular router is going to be configured with an activator module with the direction of up, and we are going to right click, and it's going to be set to pulse mode. And so what we can do is put our snowballs in there. We'll just do one for now. And the snowball is going to be in there, and the activator module is actually going to use the snowball. If I do that, you'll see, bam, snowball was used, because we set it to always use it, so it will do it as soon as it can. Set this back to pulse, put our snowball in here. So then we need to get our items dropped. So we can go ahead and get our modular router here. Set this here, and this modular router is going to be set to have a puller and a dropper module. The puller is going to pull from the top, and the dropper is going to drop in the front. And the nice thing is, the dropper is like very precise dropping. It will only drop in the front, because if you know anything about the vanilla droppers and stuff, they can fling items. It can get a little crazy and hectic and everything. This guy just drops right into the front and right on top of our modular router there. Okay. So then we need to get ourselves a chest, and we're going to place our chest on top of here such that it sits on here. So then any items that go in here will automatically get dropped out. Bam. Make sense? Super simple. Everything drops onto this, and then we'll get everything going. So that's I mean, theoretically, this is kind of sort of set up, other than the fact that we need to trigger our charge snowball to actually do the charge snowballing. So how are we going to do that? Well, I was experimenting a couple different things, couple different options, and I came up with Redstone links, inventory checker, Redstone, and a not gate, essentially. The only thing that we haven't seen before in this series is the inventory checker, which is fairly simple to make. It requires a machine base, which is advanced PCB and Enigmatica reinforced slabs, and then some standard stuff like a chest and some redstone. And what this block does, it's from RF Tools, and it checks the presence of items in an inventory, and then we'll send out a redstone signal if there are items in the inventory. So if we go ahead and we build up here, like so, we can go ahead and get our inventory checker and place it into this chest, right? So it's basically going to say, hey, is there anything in this chest? And if there is, it outputs a signal. If there isn't, signal turns off. Simple as that. Bam. And so what we want to do is go ahead, we'll grab some redstone dust off of it, and we can place this here. And then we want to go ahead and set up a redstone torch with another piece of redstone set up to here. So now we have a NOT gate. So basically what's going to happen is this redstone torch will always be powered on, right? It's always going to be powering this redstone dust, except for when this kicks on. So if I were to put something in here, this is going to turn on. It turns off our redstone torch, which turns off our redstone dust, creating a pulse. So what we can do now is go ahead and get our redstone link set up. Just place it here. Charge snowball to be our indicator. And remember, the redstone links are from Create. They are basically a wireless redstone tool. And if we actually pop down below here and we set the redstone link to the bottom of this router, the matching, we can set it up with redstone as well. If I were to not use the snowball, but actually just do that. Go ahead and set this to be the receiver. And now this is it was gonna do the thing because we had items sitting in the chest, something like that. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I just need to get out of here. Bam. Okay. So there we go. So you are set to only work when you are pulsed. You are set. You're set. It's about to be nighttime. But in theory, if we put a snowball in here and we put some items in here, it's going to drop them. As soon as it's done, it turns it back on, pulses, and then activates the snowball. And that's fairly it, really. So if we say we want to make, for example, sparks, we say, hey, we need to make some sparks from Botania. Well, let's go ahead and get everything set up. 6 mystical gray petals, some blaze quartz, some nebu drops. If I were to throw all those things into our chest up here, give this guy a snowball so that he can do his thing. Bam, 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 bam. Everything's going to drop. As soon as it finishes, it should pulse. Bam, and then we should have some sparks. And there we go. Sparks created. I like it. And then we can set up inside of this activator module, if we really wanted to, we can get a vacuum module. What is the cost of you? You are a lodestone. That's a lightning craft, actually. I don't have stuff taught to the system, though, so let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so let's say we want to get ourselves, we're working on the vacuum module here, right? So we need to get ourselves a lodestone. We're going to go ahead and teach the system how to make this. Lodestone is made like so. And we'll deal with this later because we're going to have to get a crafting recipe set up for this, but we just don't have that yet. Iron dust is going to be a pulverizer recipe of iron ingot into iron dust. Same thing is going to go for the copper dust. Copper dust, iron dust, and then it was a block of iron. So we just need to teach the system how to make a block of iron. We can make one, but it needs to know how. Normally, we would have block of irons if we were using compacting drawers, but since we're not using compacting drawers at all, well, we can't. So Let's go ahead and do that. And then we can request a crafting module. We can request a lodestone. We can request the things we need for a lodestone is what it is. And then a omnidirectional hopper. Should be fairly easy to teach. And there we go. Okay, so now I should have the copper dust and the iron dust. Copper, iron. We need the iron block. This is actually a good test to see that we have everything that we're going to need for this, and then a piece of fluorite, and validate that this actually works. Obviously, our stuff that we have sitting out there, though, the green heart logs do catch fire, so we need a different fireproof log here. What I could do is just encase this, if I wanted to, in glass, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it at all. Let me make sure you have a snowball. We could actually give you multiple snowballs at this point. So if we encase this in glass, now nothing should light on fire. And then all we have to do is say, hey, you need all of this stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Everything's going to fall in. Craft. And then the lodestone's going to sit there on fire, of course. But we got it. So then we can go ahead and pop home, though I don't know why, because we don't need to actually use it in this inventory, but that's okay. And we have a vacuum module. And what we're going to want to do is configure the vacuum module, which I believe, yeah, we're going to have to actually stick this in there. And we're going to configure the vacuum module to only pick up the outputs. So if we say vacuum module, you're going to pick up sparks. Now, one thing that modular routers has, and you're going to vacuum from the up, there is what's called a filter module, where we can, in the future, the bulk item filter, which actually I think we got one from a quest reward. Yeah, we did. And I had made this inspection filter a while ago when I was experimenting with the routers that we were using before. But the bulk item filter is nice because it's a very large filter. So instead of doing that, we can go ahead and use the bulk item filter, and it actually doesn't take it. It just puts the item in the filter. So you just have to make one of these, and then you can carry it with you, and you can always program routers as you go. But now it'll only pick up sparks inside of this. Make sense? So now it's only going to pick up sparks. So if we request the stuff for sparks again, if I say I want all of this stuff, blaze quartz is going to be this. Oh, I guess I put sparks in there last time, didn't I? I think I did because I clicked it. I put the sparks in there and then I just destroyed sparks, but that's okay. So if we do this, oh, nope, it's going to destroy those. Well, that was my fault for standing there. Oh, wait, maybe we got it in time. It should have picked up the sparks. Maybe having the vacuum module in this guy isn't the best idea. Vacuum module in here. But I don't want you to be picking up everything over there. So the range. What? Can I control your range? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because you should only be picking up sparks. Or is this? Ah, there we go. It's whitelisted. There we go. Now it should only pick up sparks. And then, let's see. Maybe we should just have a different router to handle that. I should have one more router in here. We'll have a different router to handle our outputs. This guy can sit here. Sure. This guy can sit here. And you're going to be the vacuum module set to sparks only. So let's just experiment with this. If I were to throw the sparks there, they should get vacuumed up. All directions. There we go. They got vacuumed up, and then we can get a sender module to send the items into a chest, or when we get this done, a interface when we get this automated with refined storage. But for now, we'll just say, hey, sender module, send it down. And there we go. Okay, so that is basically automated lightning crafting with modular routers. So basically all I got to do now, if I say that I want sparks, we should be able to actually do the craft. Everything should end up where it belongs. You guys go away. Nebu drop, blaze quartz, mystical green petals. I put these 3 in here. I miss. Now what's going on? I don't understand what just happened there. I think I misclicked and I flubbed up the craft. Let's try this again. But nope. Okay. We're going to put this, this, and this. There we go. Bam. Sparks. And then they should get picked up and end up in this chest. There we go. I don't know what happened before. I don't know what caused that to go off twice. But it did. But it's okay. So there we go. Automated lightning crafting. All we got to do is dump our items into this chest and then it automatically does it. So in between episodes, what I'm going to do is, well, move this down into our basement. So we'll set this up so we can see the lightning craft happen because we can have this underground. Lightning doesn't matter if it's in ground or whatever, but we'll have instead of the chest here, we'll have a crafter that points into our chest, dumps our items into the chest, and then from there it does all the crafting that it does. And instead of this sending into a chest, it'll send into a interface and then do the crafts for us. But that's automated crafting, automated lightning crafting. Fairly simple. It's not terribly too difficult to do. It just required a little bit of thinking. I'm not the most redstone-y person in the world, so getting this set up took me a minute to figure out, but hey, we got it and we're good. And now we have lightning crafting automated. So then we'll be able to get any other stuff and things that we need to do. Speaking of stuff and things, we'll also need to set up the interface to, when we get to that, we'll set the interface to keep snowballs in stock. So that way this thing is always full of snowballs. I did teach the system how to make charged snowballs because it's as simple as putting them inside of the energized orb that we have downstairs and just letting it run. So as we need snowballs, we can. We're going to need a interface and a crafting card, or a craft upgrade is what it was called. Yeah, crafting upgrade. So then we'll be able to craft snowballs at will and as needed and put them into the system as we go. So with that being said, our next steps in the mod pack are to begin working towards switching back over to some magic mods and to begin working on basically getting our tier 4 blood altar. I want to get the tier 4 blood altar and push towards that as soon as we can. I did go ahead and make the runes that we need. So we have the 24 runes. The biggest thing that we're going to need is the bloodstone bricks, which are these. In order to do this. So this is going to be made with a weak blood shard, which is going to require us to get this thing done. So weak blood shard, now that we fought the Ifrit, should be fairly simple. All we need to do is grab this and this. And then we need to get ourselves a vial of Crimson Shade, which is made in a botanical brewery. If you remember, we made one of these before. We need to do so again. So let's go ahead and grab all of the stuff we're going to need for it. Outside of the resonating gem, which is just some aquamarine. Pop out here. Throw you. One of you lit up. Yeah, you're going to go there. And now we have our resonating gem. So we're going to do this. I have never used Botanical Brewing before, so I don't exactly know how it works. But I'm assuming we have to set it up over here, give it some mana, and then just add the items to it. I may be lying. I think I did use this in my All the Mods 7 or All the Mods 6 to the Sky series. I believe that may be the case. But it was only really quick. I only used it for like one thing, I believe. There's this. We need to automate this setup too eventually. And then bone meal. There we go. What did I miss? Because I missed something. We're currently working on making a botanical brewery. Oh, it only gave me 5 of the living wood slabs, not 6. That jerk. And then it was a serene blossom. Let's get this down before it grows too quick. I just realized I don't think I'm getting extra serene blossoms or sunny blossoms or the twisted saplings. I'm getting twisted logs, but not the saplings. I need to put those. It was mentioned in the comments or on Discord, I believe, that I should put them in underneath glass because I don't need the logs. I need the saplings out of these. So we're definitely going to do that as well. We'll just place them under glass like we did our ancient sapling and we'll be good to go. Okay, so let's get our botanical brewery. Let's get our wand of the forest out. You are going to bind yourself to here for the moment. And let's see what we need to do this. Okay. So we are making a vial of crimson shade, which is going to require netherwort, fermented spider eye, lapis, and iron ingot. Can I request all of this stuff? Yeah, that would be nice to be able to use, but apparently I had a mana glass vial already. Netherwort, so I just need the fermented spider eye, which just requires, it specifically wants brown mushrooms. I can't just use any mushroom for this. Are you kidding me? You kidding me, Charles? I can take brown mushroom colony. I don't have that. Where do I get one singular brown mushroom at? Spores recreator. If I had one, I could make more. Yes. Bark mushroom. Can't believe I'm being held up by a mushroom that I don't have. A spider eye with a transmutation catalyst and the natural altar can do it. All right, let's do that. I guess I need to figure out, where did I just put my... I just put my wand somewhere. I don't know exactly where I just put it. Akashic? No, it was the Morpho tool. Wand of the forest. Anybody know where I just put my wand? Because it just disappeared on me. I thought I did. Where'd it go? That's our. I think this is our secondary wand, right? Yeah. Look, I can't scroll this. So that's our second wand. I put the wand somewhere. I opened up some sort of inventory, but I don't know what inventory I just opened. That was our Morpho tool. Huh. What did I do? Oh, there we go. That's what I did. I opened it up in that chest. Weird. Okay. Wizard Tower. Spider Eye. Luckily, we have a transmutation catalyst already set up over here. Bam. So all I got to do is this. And give me my fermented spider eye, please. Thank you. All right. Botanical brewing. How do you work? Do I just right-click this on there? Do I throw these here? We need netherwort, fermented spider eye. Maybe I should do these in order. Netherwort, fermented spider eye, lapis, fire charge, iron ingot, and a mana glass vial. Oh. I have to get them to land on those little platforms. Are you kidding me? I bet you if I did a dropper setup like this, it would work. Okay. Oh, it's slow. It is not very fast, that's for sure. Wow, look at that. While we're waiting, we should go ahead and get this mana lens of velocity going so we can make it faster. And we could do a mana lens potency, so that way it sends more. And we can combine the two, I believe, with a slime. Yeah, and now we have a composite lens with potency and velocity, which it'll send larger bursts and it'll send the burst faster now. So that maybe will help speed that up. Yeah, look, it's going much faster now. There we go. All right, thank you to everybody who told me and reminded me that I should do that. Just about done. This will get us our 1 blood shard, which will get us our bloodstone bricks, which will allow us to start working on getting our tier 4 altar. Okay. Yes, I don't have a massive hole in my wall. Okay, so then that allows us to do this. So now we can go pop over to the Undergarden real quick. Now this is going to require 20,000 LP from our system. I think we have 36,000 right now, and I drained all of this making those runes before. So we really don't have. I don't have any extra in here or in my altar because it's all been added into this. So we're okay. But a frit in you. But we're only going to be able to do one of these. That's what I'm getting at. I can only make one of these at the moment, and then we'll have to come back and get the others. So Magician's Blood Orb now gets us a weak blood shard. If we pop home, I can go ahead and convert this over to the large bloodstone bricks that we need. That'll get us 4 of these. And then we can convert them over to bricks because we're going to be putting them on top of our altar. So we want to make sure that we do it, make it look nice. Grab our extra runes, and eventually we're going to switch these over for capacity or something else. But for now, it's what we got. We're going to swap out this stuff for runes. I believe we get rewards, a quest reward, and we get runes from it. So did I miscount somewhere? I did. It's supposed to be 28. It's a good thing I made extra again. I only made 24. But I made extra. Because I was like, maybe, we're going to need some for when we get to tier 5. So let me just throw in a whole stack and just stab myself for a little bit. Good thing I think ahead. Okay, so then that's that. So then, sure, we'll just use a rune to pillar on up. We just have to do this. Nope. Come on, extended reach. Let me place it on top. Yeah. Not that it matters. I need to get it out anyway. Ring of magnetization. Please go back on. We just got a parkour everywhere. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, that was not right. My goodness. Now I just want to do it because it's making me angry. I could have probably reached from down there and didn't need to do all that, but it made me mad. So I was going to make it, so I landed up here. So we should now be at a tier 4 blood altar. Nice. Still only 10,000 LP capacity in here, but we're at tier 4. If I go ahead and do the quest, we should get some more runes. And I believe we get the self-sacrifice runes this time. No, we get runes of capacity. Where do we get self-sacrifice runes? One of these quests gives us... Oh, no, it was just runes of sacrifice. That's okay. Let's go ahead and we'll swap out these ones with runes of capacity. That way we can hold more. And then now, and we can actually do the cardinal corners on this again. Except I don't want to break my rune, so... Give me that back. I don't want to break the rune because I don't feel like going and getting the stuff again. So we have 4 more. I like symmetry. That's why I'm making sure that we do this all, all nice looking. So now we can hold what? Divination sigil, we can hold 26,000 in there, which is pretty good. That's a decent chunk. But now that we're at tier 4, once we craft our magician's blood orb, we're going to be able to move this back home instead of having to have it here. So if we take a look at our master blood orb, That's our next goal, is the Master Blood Orb. In order to do so, though, we're going to need to get this Shadow Steel. And Shadow Steel is something that we've been needing for a little bit anyway, so we can make these Shadow Casings, so we can make Ender Tanks, so it's going to be good for us to have. Also, it's used for making the Soul Enchanter, which is Tome of Blood. What is the Tome of Blood? Is this the thing where we can... Yeah, this is where we can use Ars Nouveau spells, but using our Blood Altar instead of our source, I believe. I kind of like that. Yeah, Tome of Blood. Yeah, tier 1 glyphs. So we are on the Tome of the Blood Wizard. I think I like that. I think we should switch over to that because Blood Magic Life Essence is easier to get or maintain than our source that we have now, especially if we set up another altar with a Well of Suffering and some witches or something that we can just automatically let generate essence. Anyway, so Master Blood Orb is going to require us to get Shadow Steel. Shadow Steel is fairly easy to make. It requires Chromatic Compound. In order to make it, luckily we have this information tab. Pop over to the end, throw it to out into the void, and it'll float back up to us as Shadow Steel. Chromatic Compound is kind of a pain to make. It's all of this stuff. It's not really too difficult. It's just superheated mixing of polished rose quartz, infused sun metal, mana steel, nocturnal powder, and illumination powder. All stuff that we have. So next episode, we will come back, get that done. We will get our tier 4 blood orb, which will allow us to move this. And potentially, we may move this. Yeah, probably right now, because if I want to set up any sort of auto crafting, I'm not going to be able to do so because we don't have refined storage over here, and network transmitters and all that stuff are out of the question at the moment. So we'll probably move it over here, and then I can get our main blood orb, our main blood altar can go up into our magic area. I can set up a secondary blood orb that's doing our essence farming with our fancy pantsy poor man's Ender tanks set up. That way we can have life essence available to us in the system and then transport it around and all that good stuff. But anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.